But we had no idea what sort of return that we were gonna have. Published it here, there, and everywhere. But thank you, I think our board members are, a number of attendees here today. But hello to all of you who happen to be watching on YouTube. Hopefully there are some of you. Introduction and to bring you up to speed since our annual meeting. The task force has met, has reviewed the bids, had some discussions with contractors, and has made a decision to go with Northern Trends. They're still in the process of trying to we're going to go with that company. If they can't hit it, we're going to reach out further. We put out bids to 8 different companies. We only had 2 responses. We did apply for a permit on Tuesday, and so that process. There's some questions, frequently asked questions, answers. There's also a sketch of the building, and there's some paper where the board members can jot down some questions or ideas that you may have. We're going to get to the small tables, and then at the end we'll bring it back and answer a few questions. Michelle was on the task force. I'd like her to say a few things.
Oh. I didn't realize I was saying a few things. I don't know what to
I'm going to
say.
have you come up there because you're on camera.
Okay.
I just asked you to do that.
Yeah, but you can say I was gonna stay.
Okay.
Are there any quick questions before we kind of sit down in the round tables about where we're at in the process? No, none, okay. Then basically the only thing we've got to do is just sit down and ask questions in the round tables.
Should we make one round table since there's such
That's probably a good idea, and maybe one of the back tables, so we're closer to the video, so they can maybe even hear some of what's going on. So we can move to these
I think that would
tables.
work fine.
Do we have, if somebody's watching the YouTube, do they have the ability to send in questions that way? I guess I don't understand how.
Yes, this is true.
They do?
Yes, they can send chat questions.
Is anybody watching?
6,
Oh, 6.
including myself.
5.
5.
Probably.
This will
All right, Sherry. Moving with the table.
Are you gonna crawl under?
Also, it's pretty and agile, it's still when we December, we keep that space.
It's taking too long.
That way, or preoccupied. Yep, we have, yep, no, since December has been through. Overlooked it. My personal space.
Yes.
All right, Steve, how do you want to do this?
Well, the purpose of this was just to have a discussion and bring people up to date on where we're at. We do have our frequently asked questions here. We do have the plans here. Just in the interest of getting some more information out, we're not here to discuss process or anything. But we'd be happy to take questions on the project where we're at now.
Yeah.
As was.
Sure. So my biggest kind of issue with this whole process is that we're going to be spending the money on this and we're not really going to get everything everybody wants. So I was kind of wondering why we hadn't looked at just adding on to this side of the building and putting the bathroom back here next to this existing plumbing, which I think would save us like $60,000 or $70,000 off that initial $300 or some bucks.
Every potential way that the building could have been renovated was pretty much looked at.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest issue with that side over there is the roof line, and there's actually an indent into the building that would have had to have concrete and electrical and plumbing, so it wasn't feasible to do anything necessarily on that side as a build out. Because it would have changed roof lines, it would have changed walls, it was a lot more intensive and a lot more work and labor. And so it wasn't cost effective.
So I guess, so down the line, we're gonna spend this money now, and then no one really gets exactly what they want, right? You guys, I mean, the people here in the office really need a bathroom, they need a place to access that. So in 5 years, are we gonna spend another $150,000?
The way that the plans have been set up and the way that we rated our kind of list of wants, everything that we're not looking at now is a lot more easily incorporated down the road, where there's not going to be a ton more of expense other than what the actual build out portion is.
Okay.
Everything that we planned in our beginning stages makes those changes conducively to, if we do decide further down the road, those other implementations are not going to be non-cost effective because we have to do a big change.
Okay, so we're not gonna be carrying things out that we're putting in now to
Correct.
add front part, okay.
Correct.
And I guess my other concern was, when you guys had looked at this, you looked at the tax assessed value of the building. And I think most of us know that commercial tax assessed value are insane. Like, I don't know any actual building that sells for the tax assessed value.
Well, and we understand that too, but we use the tax assessed value as a basis.
Mhm.
It could be $100,000 higher, it could be $100,000 lower, but it's the only true gauge without spending the time and money to have an appraisal done and then potentially come in a lot higher than we want to be, and once that appraisal is up, whatever. But basically, as long as we keep our fiduciary duties in line with at least not overbuilding it more than what the tax assessed value is,
Mhm.
I think we're better off for our association.
But there's many buildings in our town that sell for half of the tax assessed value.
And I understand that also.
So spending $1,000 to get an appraisal when you're spending 250 grand doesn't seem like. an
But our
outrageous
tax assessed value was just reassessed by the county,
thing.
and they went through all of their processes to come up with that. And one of the reasons why that happened is because of all the buildings here.
Mhm.
So in talking to a bunch of the different commercial brokers, we went to people that know the commercial industry and asked them their opinions.
Mhm.
And that's where we came up with that number.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Those are my basic concerns.
Any other questions from those basic concerns, from the answers that you've been given?
Well, you guys already answered one. You had mentioned that the contractor that's doing it, and they don't even know if they can actually meet that $250,000.
Well, again, we wanted, the 250 is the cap. We want to be closer to the 225 for cost overruns that we all know always happen.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's going to be dependent on whether they can get down to those numbers or not.
Mhm.
And we may need to, reassess our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if they can't crunch those numbers.
I would love to see a forum like this before, like we do something like this again in the future. I mean, right now, no one can say, the communication was awesome. Nobody showed up. And that's, I mean, yeah, this is really
It's
frustrating. I'm
ridiculous.
disappointed.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy about the communication. I really like how you guys put this all together. It's very professional and understandable.
Yeah.
So I would really wish this would have happened before the vote. And then it probably,
Well, they-
but-
people should have been at the annual meeting.
yeah, but I mean, this communication session, I think is great, and I think YouTube and the communication through Facebook and the emails has been really good after the fact.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I will say, in this process, we pay attention to what people are saying to us. And clearly, by the outreach efforts that we just made, we've listened and we've acted. Unfortunately, we got this.
Right.
Not 1,000 people, but nevertheless, the information was out there for them to take advantage of.
So I appreciate this.
Well, and that's good. And at the annual meeting, if you feel like you have to speak up, speak up.
You gotta speak up.
You've got to speak up. Our members need to voice a negative opinion if they have a negative opinion.
Or positive. Any
Or
opinion.
positive, yes.
Any opinion.
Any
And they
opinion.
also need to be attending meetings. They also need to show up for certain meetings and things like this, and the annual meeting.
And
The
this is a
annual
good
meeting
step, too.
has so much
It'll be online.
information.
And this meeting will be online, people can look at it when they
Right.
can. This is a great time.
Maybe that
Yeah.
was,
1:00 in the afternoon, then
Yep.
we all pretty much have time to do things.
And I commend the people that did show up today because it is, if it's important to you, you should show up, although we don't always get the numbers that we hope to get
Yeah.
for
I want to
people's
bug,
input.
right.
I want to bug.
You want to buy?
You wanna-
I showed up for the
I
meeting.
showed
but-
up, yeah.
Mike, I was gonna say, Mike, do you have any questions that haven't been asked?
Do you have any concerns?
So you just kind of wanted to come to the meeting to kind of see where we're at? And we answered your questions or your thoughts anyways? Good enough?
Disappointed that you can't do everything that you want.
We are too.
We are too.
We have fiduciary responsibility to this organization.
Sure. And maybe it's possible that we can do more.
He got a fun, yay.
Or an equity line or something like that. We could, but we're trying to be as conservative as possible, and not shock everyone with some numbers that, you know, in order to get everything that we want, which would be a lot.
We also have some restrictions in our bylaws as to how much reserves we keep on hand, and so we'll be doing that no matter what, which will help us if we have a change in the market.
So are we taking out a loan, refinance it?
We have not decided that at this point in time. That's once we have the actual numbers and stuff, then we have to talk, we have our accountant and we have our banker, and then we've got the board, where we'll all figure out what's gonna be the best way to do it, to save the association the most money and be most cost effective.
And the treasurer with the golden pen.
And the treasurer with the golden pen, yes. He'll make sure that we do it correct.
Who's pretty tight with that pen?
Yes. Are there any questions from back there, Jason? No?
No. No questions yet.
Does anybody?
Sherry, were you good with everything?
Yeah. Anybody have any other comments that they'd like to make before we kind of call this meeting at an end? Brandon, do you have anything? All right, well, thank you guys all. Oh, yes, Mike, yes, Mike.
Curiosity. What we're doing is, I'm assuming, much more cost effective than searching for a bigger building.
Yes.
Yes, we've already went that route.
Probably
gonna say-
because of renovations and everything.
Well, we looked at that route a couple of years ago, and we actually did the original refinancing of the building and got a bunch of opinions and found out at that point in time that it was not conducive or cost effective. We did a little bit more research again, this time taking a look at what the costs are out there for renting and what would cost for space for like 50 to 85 people, and it still wasn't cost effective. And we didn't look at selling the building this time, but renovating it made the most sense.
What about that Maurice's building? Like $260,000.
The one back there.
Which is great, but you still have to build it out.
We have to
You
build it
know?
Like you can rent out, I don't know, 30 units. There's some.
That's a totally different, that's then putting us into now as big time renters and income and having to change our whole structure. And yeah, we didn't want to go that way. We just want to be able to get enough space in for an employee that we've had budgeted for a really long time, make it more useful space for our members and do it cost effectively.
In an area that's soon to grow. Liver Park, the Den Belts, the hill. All gonna go west.
Yeah.
So,
And it's a good central location for both states.
both sides of the bridge, absolutely.
And-
Yeah.
I mean, we could look at
City.
Superior.
We sure could have. I tried.
There's a bunch of stuff over there.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Go make some money.
Everybody takes 6 cookies with them.
Oh, nice. Take some cookies.
I have
Everybody
one.
takes 6 cookies with
They read very well.
All of them.
And as soon as we have more progress, obviously we'll do another one of these, as soon as we've got more information on where we're at, so we keep that communication open.
Yeah, that sounds good. You know, you could even just do a YouTube video or something,
Well,
put it out there and say, hey, this is